number 12. On the axis, sketch the graph of fx where fx is blah blah between -5 and 5. Okay, it tells you it's got 3 separate parts, so there's a hint. But all we do is take our calculator, and in our y equals, we're going to enter that. So alpha y equals, if you remember, gets fractions. So I want x squared over, oops, x squared minus 4. But I want my window to be between -5 and 5, and I can go up on ones, and I don't know my, oh, I do know my y scale for -4. And so literally you just copy what it has there on the diagram. Try and make sure that you are using the appropriate scales, so roughly divide this equally into 5, so you can get a good representation of that. I'm not going to bother to do that, but you can copy that yourself. So the graph has 3 asymptotes right down their equation. So going back to looking at the graph, hopefully you can see that there's one asymptote here, and you can see clearly that that's x equals 1, x equals 2. So x equals 2 would be one of them. Oops. And this is x equals -2. Oops, -2. They came from the fact that we know the denominator cannot equal 0. So if x squared minus 4 is equal to 0, then x squared equals 4, x equals plus or minus 2. So that's where those two values came from. We can then see that there is a horizontal asymptote as well. And if you're not sure about what value that is, remember, stick a very large value of x into both positions here. So if I have f of 10,000, for example, we've got 10,000 divided by 10,000 squared, take away 4. So alpha y equals 10,000 over 10,000 squared, subtract 4. It gives me 1.000 e to the -4. So we've got negative 0.0001. Hopefully you can see that that would be, oh, hang on a minute, oh look, I didn't put this in properly. Should be, supposed to be 10,000 squared. So let's put that in again, sorry. 10,000 squared on the top. And that's much better. So we can see that the value is very, very close to 1. So that's y equals 1 is our horizontal asymptote. Write down the coordinates of the local maximum point. Okay, so we can go back to the graph. Second calc, and we're calculating the maximum point, so it's number 4. Now, hopefully you can see this is the maximum point. We know that that's what maximums look like, so we just need to go a little bit. Oh, I think I must have missed one. Oh my goodness. Second calc maximum. Okay, left bound, so we just need to be somewhere on the left of it. Enter. Somewhere on the right of it. Yes. And it takes us to this point here, which these values are so small that would be 0, 0. Write down the range. Okay, so the range are the y values that it can possibly take. So we can see that it could be equal to or less than 0. And then these values here indicate that it's greater than 1. It can never equal 1. So we would say y is less than or equal to 0. Y is greater than 1. Write down a possible value of k that has no solutions. So essentially we're talking about anywhere in this gap here that's greater than 0 but less than 1. I'm going to choose 0.5. Okay. Solve the equation, gives you an answer to fit to 2 decimal places. So this is how you would do that other question that I didn't have my calculator working for. So apps, polysmart 2, polyroot finder. As I said, well, so that's fine to go to the next screen. Okay, so here we need to identify that A is 1, B is 2, C is -4, and just write out the equations. So it's -2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared plus or, oh, it's not plus or minus there. 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times -4 over 2 times 1. So that should be enough to show you working, and now we're going to put those values of 1, 2 and -4 in. So 1, 2 and -4. Hit solve, and there are 2 solutions. So remember, we're rounding to 3 significant figures, so this is -3.24 or 1.24. Okay, solve the inequality. So remember, this is where we need to have a look at where the parabola is less than or equal to 0. So it's best just to draw yourself a little sketch. We can see it's positively happy. We've worked out these two values are -3.24 and 1.24. Where is it less than 0? It's less than 0 underneath the graph. So it's in between those two values. So we would have -3.24 is less than or equal to, because of this symbol here, x is less than or equal to 1.24.